Here are some of the cars that are gonna race the Corvette.
Ready? 1, 2, 3! We got done to that fight!
What's going on, guys? It's Romy here with That Racing Channel. Today's video is going to be this Corvette ZR1 that's behind me. It's pushing 1,000 horsepower, 900 foot-pounds of torque. He recently got a couple upgrades done to the car, so we're going to go over that, race a couple other cars in the area. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so what's up, man? Dude, this thing is so sick. I've known about this car for, I would say, like, what, a year, 2 years? So I've seen this and I've seen the progression of this thing, and this car is just sick overall. So, like, I know you were telling me how you recently got a couple upgrades done to the car.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that we pulled the LS9 motor out and we went with a built aftermarket block. We went with an LS Next Dart aluminum block, and we went 427 this time. So it got bumped from a 6.2 to a 7.0. We used Magnum crank, Cali's I-beam enforcer rods, Wiseco pistons, Johnson lifters, a whole bunch of other custom stuff that our builder Terry in Capitol Heights did. We reused and refreshened up the PRC 260cc Texas Speeds heads. Now I have the Kong Performance 2650 blower on it.
So how much power is this car making?
Right now it's putting about 1,000 to the wheels and 900 torque.
1, 2,
tuner kind of dial back the torque a little bit just because it's winter and it's cold, and you know you can only grab so much of the street right now. Eventually we're going to pulley down one more size, and we're expecting somewhere between 11 and 1200 blower only, and then like I mentioned earlier, we're going to add 1 to 150 shot nitrous on top. Since I'm using it for the street, I probably won't have the nitrous engaged until somewhere after 110 mile an hour. So the ProUFI traction control, it retards the timing, it controls the throttle to try to match the rear wheel speed with the front wheel speed. So if it sees that the rear wheels are any more than 25% faster than the front wheels, it'll start playing with all the electronics to pull that back. With the new motor setup, I mean, literally got tuned last week. We haven't reinstalled the nitrous all the way, but there it is right there. Keep an extra blower belt just in case. I don't have any problems with it, but I mean, as soon as I don't carry it with me, I probably will. And then this right here is just a tire pump that I use when I go out, you know, running on the street. I drop the tire pressure so I can get better traction, and then I pump it back up with this.
That's convenient.
Yeah, super convenient. I really want to keep this car street, and to me, having a separate tank for fuel for the nitrous, to me, that doesn't feel like a street car. Matthew, that built the car for me, he and I talked, and we ended up doing a full return style fuel system for the nitrous off of the OEM tank. And most guys will run like some kind of VP fuel for nitrous. I just run straight E85. It doesn't have meth, and the only thing I do is, you know, I just put in E85 and then we're done. So there's a third pump in the car that's dedicated to the nitrous that, you know, routes to the front. And then we've got all of the controls over here for it. He did a really nice job setting up the fuses and all that stuff. You know, he tries to keep everything clean and takes a lot of pride in the way he installs stuff. So right here where the ashtray is where the arm and
nice.
Yeah, the purge button, the arm button, and the bottle heater button. So the bracket that I've got back there is actually a bottle heater. so I don't have to sit there with like torches or anything as long as I'm driving with it on. What we did, because the car draws a lot of currents, I've got 3 fuel pumps, my nitrous bottle heater bracket. I've got the Pro EFI, which becomes very sensitive if you have any low current. This is actually the cable for tuning. I just keep it here on the floor. So we upgraded the factory alternator to a DC power 270 amp aftermarket alternator. And if there's any drop in current and the standalone can't you know, compute and monitor, you know, it only takes a half second to just lose all your hard work. So like right here, you've got this is basically the temperature inside the blower, coolant. That's the temperature inside the blower. That's the intake, coolant. And right now it's running vacuum. And then you've got your trans temp, coolant, oil pressure, oil temp, my ethanol content, clutch slip, which is 100 right now because it's not engaged. It tells me the speed of my driven wheels, which is the rear wheels.
It's so convenient how all of that is in one little.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. And then here it tells you the speed of the non-drive wheels versus the drive wheels, which is basically what you need for the traction control.
So the interior, nothing crazy.
It's real simple. MGW shift knob, short shift, carbon fiber steering wheel.
Do you have anything done to the exhaust system?
Yeah, I've got 2-inch American Racing headers and a Billy Boat Fusion 3 exhaust with mild to wild. The X-pipe and the headers I actually had ceramic coated, and that actually keeps it, like when you're working on the car 15-20 minutes after you've turned it off, you can touch the headers. Yeah, it's actually pretty awesome. A lot of people don't, but I went ahead and ceramic coated the X-pipe. The tunnel in the car can get very hot, so I figured I already had the headers there, might as well do that. I actually used a Vet Nuts heat shielding sound deadening kit.
You got anything done to the cooling in the car?
Yeah, we've got ProSpeed dual fan shroud against the radiator. Matthew Wanneman built me a custom external oil cooler setup that's right here in the front, right in the air dam. And he actually installed another fan on that. My engine temps have been amazing. The best that they've been since I've owned the car. We rearranged a few things. We even have a custom power steering pump cooler. We got rid of the factory one and moved things around. I have a ProSpeed ZR1 cooling system, and the new Kong Performance lid, that thing is like 4 times the capacity, if not more, than the factory OEM bricks.
Do you have anything done to the drivetrain, the differential, drive shaft?
The differential, that's stock, hopefully not for much longer, and hopefully by choice. I've got a Monster clutch in the car. It's actually my second one. They've been great. Whenever I call them, I usually will call them several times just to kind of pick their brain and see which clutch is best. And I talked to them, they had suggested I move up to the LT1 SC, which is rated to 1500 torque. So that's what's in the car now. The discs are no longer organic like the previous clutch, so it's very grabby. I have in it now a drive shaft shop solid aluminum torque tube shaft, and there's no give in it. The OEM one at each end has a rubber grommet, and those are gone. It's all solid now.
Alright guys, so here are some of the cars that are going to race the Corvette. GT3RS.
I don't have the nitrous hooked up anyway, so. Oh. But it is full.
We're gonna do a quick test hit, or are we going?
Nah,
Ready? 1, 2, 3!
This thing moves. Oh yeah.
I'd still take his car though. That thing is sexy. You go. I should have gone to second gear. Woo, she got squirrely.
Hell yeah, bro.
Look how low the
IATs are.
yeah, they're really low right now.
You said 135?
They're down to 120 something already.
Hell yeah.
After we just did a full pull.
Yeah.
What has it got done to that pipe?
Exhaust only, apparently.